What's up, y'all? This is Break the Norm Podcast with your host, Mr. Drive.
An absolute beard.
Where we are going to get you out of your norm.
True that, brother. True that. What's been going on, man?
Busy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Busy time of year?
Yep. Every month, dude. It's like something new.
It's always something, man. Mid-February.
Should be staying busy.
Year's flying pretty fast already.
Yeah.
New Year's resolution people are probably hitting that breaking point where it's like, I don't know. You know, things aren't working out.
Yeah.
Not seeing any changes health-wise or financial or anything. So, do you make goals or and resolutions, or you just sort of?
I'll make certain goals. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, little steps.
Yeah.
You know.
I always try to do something, of course, business related, then, something personal, but I think I try to improve, some area of my life, whether it's, relationship, friendship, spiritual, something to improve yourself. I think you got to do that, right?
Yeah. You
got to work on yourself.
Oh, for sure. I think the more you work on yourself, the better you get.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that should be the number one thing you do.
Most people, they want to, hit the gym hard, right? They want to lose a few pounds, especially coming off last year with the quarantine 15. People are trying to say, well, 2021, that's my year. I'm going to do it. And I don't know. I don't see people really committed as I've seen in the past years. What about you?
I mean, I would say some people are committed, not as,
Yeah.
Some are probably going to be committed, but not. But you kind of see it one-on-one because you do the training.
I do, but I mean, business. I mean, it's not how it used to be. Mid-January, when people kind of recoup some finances, people are ready to make that commitment. But man, it's more of virtual online programs, online diets, stuff like that, because people invested at home equipment. They're not going to the gym frequently. They're still kind of scared or whatnot, whatever the reasons. But yeah, I mean that is too. But you do diets, right? And so
online.
Yeah.
Because more people, like you said,
are
just sticking to being home and wanting to know how to cook and eat what to eat.
I've met a lot of people that are just, they just kind of threw their hands up last year. They were like, well, screw the goals right now. I don't see an end in sight. So they're just banking on a new year, kind of a reset, right? And then here's the new year. And I don't see people really getting off their ass to do much. They're still putting the blame. Well, still, kind of up in there. But you have control, man. And you have control of what you eat every day, right? And so a lot of people may look at you and I and think, well, guys, look at y'all. Y'all work out. You've already implemented it. But
you got to start somewhere.
We didn't start like that,
I wish.
Yeah, right?
That'd be cool.
I mean, I wish I loved to eat healthy all the time. But, that's far from truth, I mean, I do enjoy some good cheats and burgers and wings, but, I think, you come across the same clientele and our business is, online or in person, is that we have to help keep people motivated, right? And so when it comes to dieting or choosing better, I feel like there aren't that many options. It's not rocket science. And I think people think it is, when it's, well, what's the secret formula? What do you do? I've heard, my friend down the block lost 20 pounds in a month. Or what do you think about this diet or this fad diet? And I'm like, man, just stick to the basics. Yeah. And nobody wants to hear the truth. No one wants to hear, you just got to eat consistent. You got to portion size. You got to stay on it, every day. Just because you eat well one day, they're like, oh, I ate well. I had my salad, my chicken, everything. And I'm like, well, guess what? You got to do it again tomorrow. And then next week and next month. And, you'll start to feel better internally first and then externally. Mm-hmm. Is that what you see when you...
Yeah, but I think, too, it's like most people wonder, how do you stay motivated on a diet?
Well,
that's the biggest thing.
That's tough, man. I mean, it is.
But there's ways, know.
Yeah.
I think, too, it's all about, kind of... When you do go out to eat or something, for instance, it's like you could still eat, like, let's say you go to a Mexican restaurant. Yeah. Right? You can go up there and say, okay, most people get the fajitas, right? But instead of getting the flour tortillas and the beef, you know what I mean? You just pick which one you want. Do the beef, obviously, right? And then have your chips and salsa as your carbs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can't have the chips and salsa and the flour tortillas and the beef.
But that's the thing. People are like, well, it's free, right? They bring it out before.
I mean, it's not really free. It's in the cost.
But I mean, it's nothing.
Mentally, people think like, ooh, free. It's like, well, nothing's free. Like there's always something.
There's a catch.
Yeah.
And it's hard, man. You put people in different scenarios, whether it's a birthday or just a regular dinner out with family or friends or your spouse, and people are like, well, I'm going to eat better, like that's what they say. I mean, I've dealt with clients like, well, I had a salad, and I'm like, okay, well, what was on it? Well, some chicken. Okay, what else? Well, some croutons and some bacon bits and some cheese. And I'm like, what dressing? Like always, some ranch or some, something not diet friendly. And they think it's a healthy choice, man. I'm like, you might as well just have a burger.
I mean, I don't have to disagree with you on that, because I would say the calories of a burger is way higher than a salad.
True, but
but look at it this way: it's a smarter choice, though.
Yeah.
Because not everybody, realistically, right?
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to eat like how we do, like chicken and rice.
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to do that, so they have to have other options. You know what I mean? Other ways
they do.
Where it's like, well, they're not trying to hardcore diet. It's just sometimes about making the smarter choice.
Right.
Most people can't even do that. It's like, man, just think if you just started making smarter choices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just take baby steps.
Yeah.
For instance, with my clients, so when I put them on a meal plan or a workout plan, I always tell them the first week, don't start the workout.
Yeah.
Because when you start the workout and you're starting the food, it's just too much stress, and then they burn themselves out. Yeah. And that's another thing is the reason why a lot of people lose their motivation is because you do too much in the beginning. You take on too much.
Right.
Same thing as like starting a business. You don't pack on a bunch of overhead right in the beginning, because then it's like, well, dude, now you have all this overhead on you, and now you got to make it up. So it's like the same thing with the diet plan. You can't just get on a diet and do the workout. I mean, you can, just don't burn yourself out, because it's a lifestyle change. Yeah. It's a 180 in your life.
Yeah. Well, people don't
think about the way you used to eat and the way you eat now.
Yeah. But I mean, you got to put in consideration that, being in Texas, being in Houston, our portion sizes are ridiculous.
But still.
You go out to eat. I'm just saying, but I'm playing devil's advocate with clients. They're saying, well, I go out to eat and I order a baked potato. Well,
you made the wrong choice.
Their baked potato might be 12 ounces. You don't need all that.
Well, yeah, and they got to understand that. And two, they should get the sweet potato. Yeah. Because at a restaurant like that, the sweet potato is just as good.
Yeah. But you got to start baby steps. I think we jumped the gun, a few steps, because people, they don't even have breakfast, right? Yeah. I mean, that's where I start. I'm like, how many meals do you eat? Yeah. Do you have breakfast? No. I'm like, well, why?
And breakfast can be easy.
People are rushed. Either they're not hungry or they don't have time, or a combination of both. So they skip it, right? And then all of a sudden they're just starving at lunchtime. They gouge on whatever looks good and indulge in calories, and they're good till dinner, and they repeat that. Yeah. So they're having two heavy meals.
Well, that's when they got to break that norm.
Well, they do, man. But it's hand holding, man. It's like telling you, don't have the two meals, have breakfast, and it's a simple protein, right? Protein and maybe a carb, But again, what we fail to realize is people just don't know how.
Yeah, they're not educated enough.
They're not, man. And it's not a fault, because there's so much information out there on the internet, and Miss Jones down the road, it's like, well, I tried this and I lost 10 pounds. People want to know. And that's what I get a lot, and you probably get the same thing, is first thing they want to say is, what do I need to take? What kind of fat burner do I need to take? What kind of pill or dietary things do I need to take? I'm like, nothing. Like, don't even think about that until you get your food right. Yeah. And then people are just, it just boggles me. It's almost
it's the same thing with the steroid talk.
Yeah.
People think you take steroids and boom, you're going to be this fucking shredded up fucking
or huge monster, man.
Dude, I wish.
Yeah. If that was the case, I mean everyone would be.
That. It's like, well, I wish I could just do that. But the food is the most important.
It is.
That's where everybody struggles.
It is.
Everybody, and that's why they have to start with the food. Yeah. You have to really put that in your mind.
Well, I think too is there's not that many options when it comes to protein, right? You got steak, chicken, fish, eggs and maybe a protein,
different
substitute.
Types of fish,
But I mean, it's still in the category, and the same thing with carbs. I mean, but it's just the simplistic breakdown of people don't know. People don't know a complex carb and a simple carb.
Yeah.
People, well, what's the difference? I have white rice or I have sweet potato. I mean, you sort of have to start with the basics, and when you do that, you start implementing portion control, and then you realize we can eat the same thing every day.
Yeah.
Or at least I can. I don't know about you, man. I can eat the same thing. Maybe douse with a little different mustard or hot sauce.
I mean, I'm on these meals now.
Yeah.
Rebecca's cooking.
Yeah.
I mean, those things are killer.
So, I mean, even if people are like, well, that's the thing. That's the next thing is people think, well, I don't have time to cook. I mean, it is a part-time job.
Well, to
prep your meals.
Yeah. And wouldn't you say though, like, people have to, that's another struggle with people is that, well, I don't want to make 4 meals a day.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hey, look, and again, this is that 180. We're talking the 180 where it's like, well, dude, you're making a 180 in your life, so you're gonna have to start meal prepping.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to just sacrifice that time that you're probably sitting on the couch not doing shit. Dude, you could be meal prepping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you pay someone to do it for you and have someone cook all your meals.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you go, hey, look, I'm going to pay this person and I'm not going to go to the grocery store anymore. It's going to save me from going home to go to the grocery store as much and doing dishes.
Right.
So it's like, there's options out there. It's just, which one do you want to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're going to have to do something,
Yeah. You got to make the commitment because when people come to you and I, they're envisioning what they want to look like physically, right? But we look like people that want to change their way of thinking, right? It's a lifestyle change, like you said, and people don't get that in the long run. You can drop 10 pounds in a month, not the healthy way, but you can drop the weight, and it'll come right back, and that's what we're seeing is, hey, I gotta get ready for an event, I got a photo shoot, I got to drop some weight quick. What do I have to do? Yeah. And I'm like, well, I mean, you should have started that, months ago, but the vision of they want instant gratification. They want instant results. They want to lost 10 pounds yesterday, and when you tell them flat out, like, it's going to take you a while, shoot, I don't have time for that. People come up to you and people come to me, how long did it take you to get like that? I'm like, oh man, 15 years, maybe 18. They're like, hell, I don't have that much time. Well, you don't want it. It's nothing that's built overnight, but there is no secret recipe. There is no secret potion. You just have to stay consistent.
Yeah, it just takes time.
But like you said, we're beginning to see a downfall of, well, I'm just not motivated. Because, right, here's the thing. At home, I feel like it's the most difficult. Whether you have a spouse or kids, they'd say, well, I don't want to cook something different than my husband or my wife. And then my kids don't want to eat
especially when you have kids. It's got to be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you had, like, freaking Captain Crunch all in your pantry and freaking Lucky Charms and all this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I would be sitting there like, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's tough to constantly
and that's why people
throw
say,
it in
like,
your face.
And
right?
people say, like, how can you get high and not have the munchies? And it's all like, well, dude, I do. But here's the tip on that. Eat before you get high. Eat a meal before you get high, and then you're not as hungry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know it's still going to be tough, but again, if I had a kid here and I'm all high, man, I would definitely be eating up that cereal. Like, you know what I mean? I can see why people are like that. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like, how bad do you want it? And
that's what it comes down to, but people don't want to, stick to it for a long term, and I always try to let them know, break it down into 4-week, 6-week increments, see what you feel like, see what you look like, stepping on the scale every day is going to mess with your mind. Don't do it. See how your clothes fit in a month or two. Those are great, cursors just to monitor your progress. Right. And so, when people think that, I'm like, here's what I have a hard time understanding is when people have a goal and then I always ask them, what are you going to do after you reach that? And they're like, I have no idea. I didn't think about that. Because to me, what I feel like is people have more drive, more determination to get to where they want to go. And then they let themselves go. I mean, they're just so happy with losing X number of pounds or getting down to a size they want or build they want. And then it's like, well, now I can have those cheeseburgers. Now I can have the wings. Now I can have everything. I'm like, you just worked months and sacrificed so much. And now you're just going to like not have a maintenance plan, And that's what I feel like people fail is like, they're just so focus on the sizzle, not the steak. They're like, what can I look like, 6 months down the road? And when you get there, well, hell, after that, then people go back and they're like, I should have stayed on it. I know. And I'm like, yeah, but there's balance, right? Yeah. To me, there's balance. And that's what it comes down to. People ask me like, don't you get tired eating, chicken and steak and veggies? I'm like, yeah, I do. But there's a time and a place for a cheeseburger. There's a time and a place for some sushi or whatever I want. Yeah. But it's usually on a weekend. It's usually maybe a Saturday night or maybe a good breakfast. But Monday morning, you're damn straight I'm back on my diet, dude, So.
And then again, too, it doesn't have to be like super bland.
No.
Like the food. It's like,
not at all.
Some people are going to say like, oh, dude, I just eat chicken with like a little bit of seasoning. But you can dress it up, man. It's like you can put some grilled onions on it, green peppers, and like make it taste better. It's like, yeah, it's going to be extra calories, but that's why you just make the meal smaller.
Yeah.
But it's all about how much time you're willing to put into your food.
Yeah.
How much time are you willing to prep all your food up and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The more you put to the food, the more work it's going to be.
Yeah.
The more food you have to buy,
And people think it is pretty pricey, but it's expensive to eat healthy.
Well, yeah.
Right? I mean, compared to, let's look at McDonald's where you can probably feed a family of 4 for $10.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not even
I spend over $800 a month on food.
Yeah. And people are like, I don't have that kind of money. And there's cheaper ways. I mean, you can buy a bag of rice.
But we eat a lot more.
Yeah, that's
true. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like the more normal size, like that doesn't want to get overly big.
Right.
You don't have to eat that much.
Right.
You really don't.
Well, that's the thing too. When people say, "Well, I don't want to get that big," I'm like, "Well, you're not going to get this big, but you're not even eating.
Yeah.
You're not even eating the basics.
Yeah.
And then when you throw in some, extra things that they think of long term, they're like, oh, well, like you didn't say I could have that. I'm like, not at the beginning. No. Most people think, when can I have a cheat meal? Like 2 weeks in. Yeah. I just laugh. I'm like, you're a long way away from that. Yeah. But keeping motivated, out on restaurants or bringing food or whatever. I mean, people, man, they just crumble under that peer pressure. Yeah. They don't see the commitment they've done all week. I call them, what are the weekend warriors, man? Yeah. Just all of a sudden, have let loose and they're just like, screw it, man.
And I think too, that's where some people struggle with that, where it's like, to me, it's like, hey, look, it's okay to do like, go have some beers and chill.
Yeah.
Even if it's your first week. The problem is though, can you get back on it the next day?
Right.
Or even that night?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because people do ask, hey man, can I drink on this? And it's like, people like to drink.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's like, to strip somebody down completely, I get it. You know what I mean? And I do think, hey, the more you put to it, the more commitment you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like some people, it's like they want to still live their life a little bit.
Yeah, you have
From
to.
my experience,
with
my clients, a lot of my clients are like, they like to like live life and stuff still. Yeah. So I've always told them, I'm like, you can drink and stuff too on your diet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, just make sure if you're going to have beer that night, pull back on the carbs early in the day. Pull back on some of those because you're going to be drinking your carbs later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, but if you stick to liquor, hey man, just still stick to your meals. And then instead of when you're done drinking, go and hit up Whataburger or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's some good.
And it's like, you can't do that. Yeah. And that's where, again, a lot of people don't have that control.
Right.
And it's like, well, man, you got to learn control.
Yeah.
And that's why, like you said in the beginning, it's good to not even maybe to stick to it. Try to see if you can stick to it for 3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, earn it.
Yeah. You got to. Yeah. That's what I tell people. Earn your meal, earn your drink. And it comes to alcohol, man.
And then it tastes better, it feels better, everything.
Sometimes it doesn't. That dessert or whatever you used to eat, like once you eat clean and you put that bad stuff back in your body, you're like, man, it wasn't as good as I thought, man. And you regret it, and you can feel it, and that's where it develops.
Every time I eat something bad, I feel man, I shouldn't eat that.
Yeah, it's true though. But I mean, the thing is, unless you're prepping for a show or something, I mean, you have to have balance, like you said. Enjoy your life. People always ask me the same thing about drinking, and I'm like, look, if you're gonna have 1 or 2 drinks, it doesn't matter what you have. Yeah. Have what you want. But if you're going to throw down 6 or more, be a little cautious of what you're doing. Less sugary drinks, low caloric beer or something like that. Maybe just do a straight something. But, that's the thing is after you have a good night of partying and drinking, you don't want chicken and broccoli. No. You want some TC, a taqueria, some Whataburger, something that's gonna soak up.
But there's even times, hey, I'll admit that I came home drunk. So, you know, and then, dude, I would do stuff like egg whites with like turkey bacon and like Ezekiel bread.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I would do like natural peanut butter and sugar-free jelly.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like, dude, trust me, that's going to taste good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you cook it right, too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, and it's like, you know, and it's not that bad.
Right.
You know, that's like, you know, most people would say, oh, man, I would eat that. And it's like, yeah, and see, there you go. Now you're going to... But you made the smarter choice.
Right.
But that's the problem. People always go for the easier way out or just the thing that just looks good instead of being like, man, you got to make the smarter choice.
Yeah.
But it's recognizing the smarter choices.
Yeah.
I think a lot, again, this is where people struggle on, they look at a menu at a restaurant and they don't know what to order.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
Some of it's just overwhelming. Some of it's like a novel. And you hit a good point, man. I always tell people it's just being aware. You know, being aware of what you're eating, you know, like you said, like the cereal earlier, or even like, you know, some cookies or whatnot. People, here's what I've noticed. People look at calories. Yeah. They're like, oh, it's got way too many calories. How many calories is this? Man, oh my gosh. You know, I use this perfect example. You got an Oreo pack. I love Oreos, but you have like the snack packs, right? People look at that and they're like 100 calories and they eat 2 or 3 packs of that. Yeah. And I'm like, have you ever looked at the grams of fat in a bag? And they're like, well, no. I'm like, it's like 5 grams of fat. Yeah. I mean, it's simple math, you know, it's 9 grams per 1 gram. So I'm like, you're looking at like 45 grams of fat, you know, and they're like, oh, I didn't really realize that. They just look at the calories. Yeah. So I'm like, again, just, you don't have to walk around with a calculator or anything, but just be aware of, hey, there's better options out there for you to do. And when you start choosing, everyone knows what that next best option is. So do that. Yeah. Once you get there, the next best option, you know, and that'll start a trend and a snowball effect.
And you do that with everything.
Everything.
It could be even jelly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I look again, you got your regular jelly and you have sugar-free jelly. It's like, but have you ever tried the sugar-free?
True.
You might be surprised. To me, it doesn't taste that bad.
No,
to me, I'm like, man, this is heaven. Like, this is
strawberry.
Great. Yeah. I mean, but again, though, I don't really like all that sugar. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I don't either.
Because we're programmed now to where we eat healthy. We don't know in any other way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because again, if we do eat something, I mean, we're kind of like, you know. Yeah. Shouldn't I really? You know what I mean?
If I eat, you know, off plan or off diet, man, like you said, you feel it, and then you're good for so long that your metabolism slows down and you just feel sluggish. And another thing, like I preach, is just your water intake. I mean, people don't really realize, you know, that you're eating all this food, right? And then people douse it when we're talking about drinking. It's like, well, I have tea or I have Coke or, you know, Gatorades and stuff like that. I'm like, man, just how much water do you drink? Yeah. You know, and people are like, well, I don't know how much I'm supposed to. I'm like, well, a good rule of thumb is just like half your body weight in ounces. I mean, start there because everyone's different. Yeah. Everyone's activity level is different. But you just got to start hydrating. And if you start feeling sluggish or your strength's declining, pretty much you're dehydrated.
Exactly.
You know, but again,
most people do caffeine instead.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And
coffee,
there's many times I'm guilty of that.
Yeah,
you know,
coffee.
Coffee's good. A lot of times I'm just cranking, I'm going, man, but I don't stop. Yeah. I'm not the type that's just sitting at home watching TV.
No, you got to stay busy.
I can promise you that. That's not.
I don't know, man.
How I do it, you know.
But this year, I think, you know, like we said in the beginning, is staying motivated. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I don't know personally what a lot of people do out there. I mean, there was social media. There's so many quote influencers and they can guide you, and man, I saw this or I saw that. Man, whatever gets you pumped up, go for it. You know what I mean? But it is hard because not everyone's going to sit there and eat with you and push you and be like, get off your ass, dude. Or, you know, you got goals to crush. Yeah. So I think people look for, you know, accountability, and that's where, you know, people like us and trainers and dietitians and gurus kind of have a good place. Is like, man, we're going to keep you on point, right?
And then it's looking at it in different ways.
Yeah.
Taking different scenarios in your life and apply that to diet, and you'll think differently about dieting. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's like most people are always looking also too for an investment.
Yeah.
Like, man, I want to invest in something.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I can tell you one thing you should definitely invest in. The first thing you should do in your life, and that's your health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't even think about, you know,
wealth and all that. I would think about your health. If you do that, man, it changed my life. Yeah. Once I got like into working out, and then everything changed in my life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, man. I had a buddy that I used to work with at Lifetime Fitness, and he was like a sales advisor, and he would always come in, and people were stunned at the pricing, right? If gym members, I can't afford $40, $80, $100, whatever it is. And he would say like, so would you cut your arm off for $1 million? And they're like, no, I'd never do that. Well, how about your leg for $3 million? Like, no way. You know, so I'm like, you're having like an $5 million body, you know, but you're not willing to invest $80 in right now. Yeah. Like if your mindset is like, man, I'm worth that, I would never do that. Yeah. You never know. I mean, it's pretty extreme. Yeah. My point is, you're right. Like you got to take yourself seriously. Yeah. And then what I've seen too is that people wait too long until it's too late. Yeah. Like if a doctor says, hey, you need to lose weight, be like, I got to lose weight. But I've been preaching to you for years that you should do this before. So preventative, take care of yourself. Try to.
A lot of people don't even listen to the doctor.
No, they don't.
They just go, I feel fine.
Or they'll just say, here's a pill, here's a diet pill. I come back in 6 weeks, and you know, hey, I lost 2 pounds. It's probably water weight. But, you know, but people want to measure it on the scale, right? Yeah. So, you know, I think it's a eye-opening industry. You know, when people look at someone who takes things a little seriously, because people look at us, man, like y'all are extreme, like y'all you eat too clean or too much, and I'm like, but we've been doing this for so long that it doesn't feel like that. You know, and you've competed, you know, I still compete, so people are like, well, that's because you compete. I'm like, no, I mean, I'm not competing right now, but I'm still choosing better options and staying on point.
And again, too, people also need to understand you don't have to go take it to the extreme that you take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're a competitor.
Yeah.
So it's a lot different for you. It's like, it's not going to be the same food, you know what I mean? Because it's like, well, you're just on another level.
Right.
You know what I mean? Realistically, most people can't do a bodybuilding show.
No. And I mean, people
come in conditioned. You got to come in conditioned, a conditioned bodybuilder. Not just like, oh, I stepped on a bodybuilder. So it's like, well, were you conditioned, like fully? Like, okay, then you really stepped on a stage.
I tell you what, man, I've worked with many coaches, dietitians in my life, man. I'll be the first to say I don't know everything. My way is not the best way, but I try to give you as much as I know, or what's worked in my experiences. You know, kind of the trial and error thing, man. If I could give someone advice to take 2 years and skip you ahead, man, I'm going to do it for you, you know? But that was my attitude, is like, I want to pick the brains of people that have a different outlook, a different way of thinking. Maybe they can take my body to the next level. Hell, I'm not getting any younger, man. So it's like, what worked last year is not going to work this year. No. You know, you have to keep step, you know, just making sure that you're always improving and looking to, and just have an open mind, man, you know, because I'm always willing to say, hey, have you tried this? Like, no, but I will, you know, if it benefits me. And I think that's just the regular person that just, like we said in the beginning, just take it basic, elementary, start eating consistently, start choosing better, move a little bit. Like you said, you tell your people that, hey, don't even work out, but hey, go for like a 20-minute walk. You know what I mean? Like, get some circulation. And that's what, you know, upset me a lot last year, that they kind of dismissed the health industry as a whole, right? You know, with all the COVID and everything. And I'm like, man, if you just move and eat right, hydrate, your immune system will just improve dramatically. But they just failed to, you know, really highlight that. And now it's like, you know, vitamin C and zinc, all these vitamins. And, you know, that's on another topic. But, you know, people always think that, you know, you have to take a Skittles bag of pills to feel good. I'm like, no, just start with like the basic stuff. And, you know, do it one day at a time. And, you know, it is hard for someone that looks at maybe, you know, and I see it both ends of the spectrum. You see an overweight person and they're not comfortable with themselves. You see a skinny person, they're not comfortable with themselves. But both of them are like, man, they have internal issues. They have problems they're dealing with, right? She may or he may have a hard time gaining. She may have time losing, whatever the case is. But everyone has a goal. Like, if you tell someone, hey, would you not want to look and feel better in 6 months? You're lying. You're flat out lying. Like, everyone wants to look and feel better somehow. You know what I mean? And what they take from that is totally up to them. Yeah. So, I mean, we get pretty passionate, man.
Yeah, but, you know, well, it's true though too. But a lot of people too, like, they can't, like, you know, they feel like sometimes too, like, you know, well, people can't relate to me. Mm-hmm. And I tell you what, I can.
Yeah, you can, man.
I've been there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been there. So it's like, I've been skinny. I was the skinny kid in high school. Yeah. You know what I mean? I played some sports and stuff. Yeah. And then I slowly got overweight. Like, I got to like 310 pounds.
Dude, I know you posted that picture. Yeah.
You know, like I had that power. I was still strong, but I mean, I had a big gut. You know, and I was freaking, you know, we'll post a picture up, I'm sure, on the video here. But, and the thing is, it's like, man, eventually, and again, this is where people come back like, well, what made you how'd you get started and stay motivated? And it comes back to, it's like, man, as corny as this sounds, and how simple it is. It's, dude, one day you're just going to go and look at yourself in the mirror and just go, fuck, I don't like this anymore. Yeah. That's what I did. Yeah. I literally I remember, like, looked in the mirror and I was like, I want to get in shape. Yeah, I want to get fucking like, fuck this. Like, I'm done with this bullshit. Like, and then from that moment on, dude, I changed. Yeah. And that was it. Like, there was nothing else. It was like, dude, I just had a goal in mind. I was like, no, this is what I'm doing. Like, and it was way for the better. Yeah. Once I got on diet and I was working out still, man, it's just like, it's a total game changer in your life.
It is.
I owe everything to it. Everything I have because of working out and everything. Like, I literally, if I would have never got into working out when I was younger and stuff, I think I got into when I was like 20, like serious, like every day. Yeah. But then I got overweight and powerlifting and stuff. But like, I would have definitely, you know, highly recommend that everybody, you should be working out and dieting. Yeah. Because it would literally change your life.
Yeah. A lot of people, and that's a great point.
A lot of people, dude, they don't even have their wealth in order. You don't have your wealth or your health in order. Yeah. So think about that. Like, really think about that, dude. Like, the two, pretty much the most important things, right? Besides family and stuff. Right. Okay? And friends, and I get all that. But we're talking about the two biggest things. It's so fucking simple. It's health and wealth. Yeah. So it's like, imagine if you had both of those. Yeah. Imagine if you could just at least have one, obviously. Yeah. But if you have this, if you have the wealth, then you should definitely be working on your health. Because it's like, come on, bro, you can have everybody make your meals for you. You can have your own home gym. If you got the wealth, you got something going right. Yeah. And you can easily afford to focus on your health and bring that up, because when you bring your health up, your wealth goes up. Yeah. Happens to everybody.
True that, man.
Dude, everybody gets more wealth whenever you focus on your health.
Yeah, yeah. We know a lot of people that have a lot of wealth, you know, and their health is just declining. They can't enjoy it, right? Yeah. So you want to be here for the long haul. Yeah. At least I do, man. You know? But that's a great point. I think a lot of people get into working out and eating better for different reasons. You know, I'll share a story or background. Like, I never was picked on growing up, middle school. I didn't, you know, have a hard time, you know, dating or whatnot. But it was like, those are the things that people look at it like, well, I worked out because I was getting bullied, or, you know, I want to pick up chicks. But it was just me. It was just like, I played sports, but it was something inside that it was addicting. It was like a self thing that I could do and control. You know, out of everything in life, it was like, I put the work in, I put the effort in. And then, you know, I mean, I was like 17, man, looking at a little bicep, like, man, dude, you know, you're flexing, you're thinking you're huge. And then that becomes a snowball where, like, what else can I do? You know, how else can I take this? And then it, like you said, man, it bleeds over to other areas of your life. The discipline that you have from working out and eating right bleeds over to your business, bleeds over to things in your family and your relationships, because you know you can stay on a goal, you know, for you. And so other people look at that and they look at you and they just say, well, that's just your dream. Well, yeah, it's just what you want to do. And I'm like, no, like, this is everyone that, you know, wants to just change some part of their life. If a mental, you know, health impact, you know, you or is it physical? Is it internal? I mean, hormonal. I mean, there's so many things that can benefit, right, from working out and eating better.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and that's the thing. It's just, you have to find that reason, and it has to click. Not you or I can say, hey, man, you need to start working out, and someone work out the next day. Like, you got to be ready. You got to be ready somehow, in some way. And people are like, well, let me get this in order. Let me get this. Dude, there's not a perfect time, you know, like, man.
You got to make time. On the workouts, you got to make time.
You got to make time, man.
And that's why I said again about, don't start your diet. If you're just now starting a diet,
Yeah.
Don't do your diet and workout, man, because you're going to stress yourself out.
Yeah. You can't do it.
It's
you have to wake up early before work, get it done, stay after work, go during lunch, pack your meals, during the weekends. I mean, whatever it is, there's never going to be a 3 or 4 month period where you're just going to devote to yourself.
Because the bottom line is, hey, before you even decide to sign up, right, and start this life, I mean, dude, you just got to ask yourself, it's like, are you ready to like do a 180 in your life?
Yeah.
Because that's what this is. This isn't like you're not, this isn't just like partial. This is like a complete, there's no going back that way.
Right.
And that's what you have to say. Are you signing up for that? You are? Okay, cool. Let's sign up.
Right.
You know, but it's baby steps.
It is.
It goes right back to that. Dude, it's just baby steps, man. We're not going to just pile it all on you because you're just going to burn out. You know that because you've done that. You get motivated because something got you motivated, like this podcast I'm sure will. You know what I mean? And then you're going to be like, cool, I'm going to get it all started. It's like, no, hold on.
Yeah.
Make sure you ask yourself, are you serious about doing the change? Because if you're not, dude, you're just wasting your time, and you've done this before, and then you're just going to waste money, and I don't want you to waste your wealth.
Right.
You got that in order, or you don't have that in order. We don't want to waste it. We want to, if we're going to do it, let's do it, man. Let's not just fucking like.
Well, people don't need, people can look on the internet for a workout or diet. There's so many things. They don't need you or I. So that's what I ask them. Like, what do you need me for? Yeah. You know, you think I have a secret formula? You need me to keep you accountable. Yeah. You need to be ready. You need me to help you focus.
But then you got to listen, though.
You do.
You don't listen, and then you get all, and like fucking like acting like a fucking baby and shit, and want to cry and want to blame the trainer. Yeah. Oh, well, it's because it's your diet. Like, okay, you never thought about maybe it was just you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did you really do it? Yeah. Come on, man.
Everyone out there who's a trainer. I'm not going to
call you out, but I'm going to call you out.
Knows exactly that scenario with clients.
Every trainer does.
Every trainer's been through it. Yeah. They're like, and they're going to trainer from trainer, and this person. Like,
and then they talk down about trainers too. Man. Come on, guys. We know, dude. The training group is don't be going around telling like, oh, this person, he did this, dude. Like, man, we're all in the same group. It's a very small industry.
It is a small niche group, man. So we know.
I don't talk shit down about other trainers.
Oh, hell
I never do that. I think, and I'm sure there are trainers out there that do that. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I know, man, because it's a small community, and if you know anything about being a trainer, then you know it's like, dude, we deal with the same fucking shit.
Yeah,
it's all the same fucking, like, it's the same question every time.
Yep.
It's the same excuse every time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is, man.
And that's what, hey, to all you clients out there that are listening to this is the truth, man. Yeah. Like, so we know what's up. We're not fucking idiots, man.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's like a teacher that's teaching fourth graders. It's like the teacher's not an idiot. She sees you doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She does, man.
We know, we see you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then, if they're not losing weight, it's all on you. I mean, like you said, we all go through the same scenario, same questions. We've all dealt with the headache clients and whatnot. But, hey, look, all of us can say the same thing, man. And if, like I said, my way is not the best way. If you don't like it, there's someone else there who might fit your persona, your character, your lifestyle better than me, which is fine. As long as you want to change for yourself.
Exactly.
Don't change for me. Don't even change for a spouse. Don't change for any friend. Change for you.
Well, the bottom line is, as somebody if you're a trainer and you've been training for especially like over 10 years and you've been helping people, and I'm not saying anybody less than 10 years neither. I'm just saying in general, like, dude, like if you're a trainer, man, the thing is you're all about making sure people change their lives, whether you're my client or not. Yeah. You as a trainer, you have that mindset. At least you should, because that's why you're doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, when I was training at 24 Hour Fitness way, way back, and that's when I got into personal training. Yeah. My thing was, man, is like what I hated the most. What I hated the most was having working for a corporate gym. Yeah. Was like having the person always trying to make me hit my quota and hit my number, which I got. Cool, I get it, man. Yeah. Keep that hustle, and it taught me sales, and it was great. Yeah. But what I hated the most is not seeing people get results.
Right.
And then I just felt like I was stealing their money in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, I'm trying to hit this number, and then I'm trying to do whatever I can do to get this fucking $1,000 off you, whatever. And it sucks because you're just like, man, dude, I really would just like for you to make a fucking change in your body. Yeah. And that would be fucking cool, and the money, of course. Yeah. But I want to see the change. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it gets frustrating.
It does, man.
It's like, dude, what the fuck, man? What do you not get?
Well, some of it too is it's a social status too. You know, it's like, you know, oh, I'm working with a trainer, or so and so is training me. You know, and it's saying that you have a trainer. That's it. Yeah. You know, but people don't want to put in the work. You know, you have people that are late, they don't commit, they don't do their homework. Yeah. You know, like I said, this is a lifestyle, so people don't understand that it takes commitment from both ends. It's a working relationship. A trainer client is give and take, man. You know, we got to be the Dr. Phils and the Oprahs. We got to listen to a lot of problems that we don't hear.
And it's our job to solve this problem. But that's like we talked about earlier in the podcast, was about how, hey, these are things that we're making you aware of. Right. Like we just told you all this stuff earlier. These are all things we're aware of. Yeah. But at the same time, as trainers, man, you have to understand where we're coming from, and you got to take it serious. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you said, like no more fucking blaming us for things. Yeah. Blame yourself.
Own it. You know, take responsibility. You know, I love it when people say, "Look, yeah, I messed up. Yeah, I overdrank."
Yeah, I love the ones that are the admitters.
I'm like, all right, you know, let's get that off. Dude. Let's work on that, because that's half the battle. But when you lie, and all the trainers we know, like, okay, you really didn't stay on point.
Yeah, it's like, man, I don't know, dude. You're like, you even stripped down their food to where it's just like, well, I don't know, man. You're only eating chicken now at this point, like, and you're still not losing weight. Like,
no carbs.
I'm starving you at this point. Yeah. Like, you know, even if we are burning off muscle, you should still be losing weight. And for some reason, you gain 10 pounds. How are you going to gain 10 pounds on nothing but chicken?
Yeah. I mean, it's like current. It's none of my business, though. Yeah. You know, hey. But, yeah, I mean, to everyone listening, you know, it's hard. We are in the same boat at times. You know, people always ask me, I'm like, do you think I wake up every day and like, man, I want to go work out today? No. I mean, it's not like I'm jumping for joy every day. Sometimes I give my body a rest. Sometimes I don't feel like doing it, but I push through it. I try to do it because it's implemented in my lifestyle. So again, there's one extreme to the next. But when you fall off, man, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to look up something different. Whatever encourages you, motivates you, gets you off your ass and just says, you know what, like, this is the day I'm going to change, man. And you're going to fail. Trust me, man. You're going to fail.
Even if you fail for like a week.
Yeah.
Fuck it, dude. Yeah. It's like, okay, cool, no big deal, dude. Which, again, because it's a 180. Yeah. So you're going to have some bad weeks and you're going to have some bad months. To stay 100%. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. You can make set goals like, okay, for the next 30 days, the next 40 days, or the next 60 days. You can set goals, but to do it every single day, like perfection for the rest of your life, that's not realistic. No. That's not realistic. So it's like, well, we get that, but you have to start, like, but think about if majority of those days were. So if you have 7 days out of the week, and let's say, even out of 6 of the days were good. That's pretty fucking good, man.
That's a good percentage, yeah.
That's a great percentage. Even if it was 4 or 5, it's better than, at least each week you're trying to get better. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's what it comes down to, bettering yourself, man. That's what we're talking about. That, you know, if you fall off, motivate yourself, reach out, but better yourself because you want to do it. You know, don't do it for anybody else. You know, it's going to be a struggle. I mean, life's going to hit you hard from all angles. You're going to be tempted, you know, you're going to have to break down, you're going to give up even, you're going to go through downward spirals. You're going to hit all those roadblocks and obstacles. But the point is, like you said, pick yourself back up. Maybe you need it. Maybe you needed to do that to make yourself wake up and be like, damn, like I just can't do that anymore. Like I thought I could, you know. You can't live 2 different lifestyles and expect the same results.
No.
You know.
Well, again, you got to change, you know, some of these habits that you're in.
And start with something small, man. Start with small. Eliminate the sodas. Eliminate something bad in your, you know, the junk food or you know, the heavy. It's anything. Anything small leads to big change.
But going from like, hey, I go to this to the next day, I go to like this extreme diet. Yeah. It's not realistic. Right. And that's where it's like, I try to tell my clients, it's like, dude, just don't stress out about it, man, the first week.
Yeah.
It's like you don't gain any results, and if you want to like ease your way into the diet, dude.
Yeah.
Because I get it, man. You got 2 or 3 kids, and they're fucking young, and they want fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and macaroni and cheese and cereal, right?
Yeah,
you know,
man. It's
they
tough.
want all that stuff. So it's like, and I get it, it's around you all the time. So it's like, man, to go just cold turkey though like that, it's gonna be hard.
It is.
Unless you have a big family supportive and your kids are gonna really be, you know what I mean? It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be fucking tough, dude. It's tough for everybody. It's different. Some people have jobs, dude, that are fucking, dude, they're working 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
You know, it's labor intense. Okay, man. Well, how do you want me to eat 6 meals?
Yeah.
How do you tell somebody that works 60 plus hours a week, hey, man, you need to be eating 6 times a day? That's not realistic. That's not. This person is like doing something extreme. It could be a doctor where it's like, dude, he's on surgery all the time. Though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can't be sitting here going like, "Oh, hold on, guys, let me eat my chicken and rice." You know what I mean? Like, that's not realistic.
You learn to eat some quick meals, you know, if you have to.
You would think all the doctors would be completely fit. Though. That's what's weird about that. What's up with that?
I don't know.
But that's the thing is too, and I think a lot of it, man, is because it's just hard because some people's jobs are very like, for us, it's a little bit different for what we do.
Right.
You know what I mean? You are a personal trainer. You have your own gym. So it's a lot easier for you to eat healthy. Yeah. Not saying that's like an excuse for everybody else. But what I'm saying though is a lot of people are in different situations that it is hard for them. And there's a lot of people that are very financially it's hard for them.
Yeah.
So, and that's why sometimes too, you do have to focus on the wealth.
Right.
Too, you know what I mean? That's like, you know, when I say health before wealth, there is going to be certain times where it's like, and you could always go ramen and eggs, you know, and do that if you had to.
Tuna fish.
I remember at one point I was getting close to there at one point in my life, and I was like, well, I guess it's getting close to ramen and eggs. Like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to keep this up because I got to start pulling back here.
Yeah.
But luckily I was able to pull myself out before that. But again, though, if you had to do it, would you do it? If it was like, but this is, you know, I want to keep this looking good though.
Yeah.
As much as I could, you know.
There's a lot of sacrifice you can do, man. I was eating a lot of tuna fish and potatoes, man. That's just cheap protein and carb, but you got to do it. And you know, I think
I've done that before.
I think a lot of things we've said hits home, hopefully. But you know, it is a support. I think the support system is what most people struggle with or have a hard time, either at home, like you said, kids.
Everybody's situation is different.
Spouse, and put it this way, man. When you start to look better. Oh man, you know, the attention kind of goes and you start feeling a little bit more, I don't want to say arrogant, just more confidence, right?
Oh yeah.
Whether it's male or female, and that other person, your spouse and better half is like, well, I don't think you should be doing that as much, you know. You're getting too good looking. I'm like, well, maybe you should do something too. And I've seen it before, and I'm like, man, you know, why wouldn't you want?
Well, we're getting on that topic here with the relationship.
that's a whole nother one, man.
But I mean, but at the same time, though, since we are on talking about food and relationships, that in a relationship, though, again, this is again for people that everybody has a different situation. When we can all admit to this, when you get into a relationship, what happens? You get comfortable. Don't act like you don't.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody should be able to admit to that. If you're in a relationship, the first thing that happens in a relationship is you get comfortable. Okay? But again, that's no excuse. You got to pull yourselves out of that. You got to keep that single mindset of like, nah, man, I got to be looking right and looking tight. You know what I mean? Even for my girl, you know, even for my girl over here, you know what I mean? And the girl should have the same mindset too, because it's like, but imagine if you had 2 healthy people and 2 wealthy people. What can you build from that? You know what I mean? And then what are you telling your kids? You know what I mean? Because, and that's the problem too when it comes to kids and parenting and stuff. You know what I mean? Is that it's like, well, what are you telling your kid? And that's why your kid is overweight. Because it's up to the parents. Unfortunately, like not saying anything, but it is the truth.
They dictate what to eat. You know, and we're not saying that, you know, everyone's got to look, you know, like a 10. We're saying, what I'm saying too is that if you're comfortable how you are, and I've known a lot of guys and a lot of girls who are not quite in shape, but they love themselves, and I'm like, all power to you, like awesome. But it's the ones that, you know, that complain, that have health issues, that can't seem to find it. That's where we're like, man, you need a support. Like, oh man, what is that show? My 600-Pound Life, dude. I can't stand that show. I'm kind of off topic, but again, it goes back to support because the spouse enables that person to
get have that support system
to a certain weight. And I'm like, it's not healthy. It's not good for you. And they're like, well, it's the only thing that keeps her happy or him happy. point being is you got to have a support system, whether it's your spouse, whether it's friends. Maybe you get your kids involved, like I said, but something's got to give.
And then there's some people out there that they don't give a fuck.
True.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't never gonna change. They're like, fuck you. I'm gonna drink my fucking beer. Fucking, you country boys out there. I know. Like they ain't gonna change, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But what we're talking to the people that want to change,
right?
And we're letting you know, man, dude, if you want to make a change, dude, this is how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It could be right now. Like I said, listen carefully what we're saying. We've have experience. We're telling you the truth. We're not holding back. This is what we've seen over the years. We've heard it all. We've gone through it ourselves, and we want people to better themselves. That's the whole thing. Is break out of your comfort zone, break the normal routine, break the mindset that you have that you just like are stuck in a rut because you're not. You just got to have a vision. You got to have support. You got to
break it.
And reach out to us, man. Reach out to someone that you trust, and pick our brains. And we've had many people. Hey, what do you do? What do you think about this? And we'll give you sound advice, like 100%. So, anyways, so thanks guys for listening. We appreciate it.
And like like I absolutely said, hit us up on Instagram.
Yeah,
Absolute Beard.
Yeah,
Absolute_Beard.
Yeah.
Right, and then Mr_Drive12.
Yeah,
and dude, we'll fucking hook you up.
Absolutely. So make sure to subscribe and like to our YouTube channel, BTN Podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at BTN_podcast. We're on Shopify. No, not Shopify. Spotify.
We are on Shopify.
The Drive Clothing Shopify. That's what it is.
Shout out, a little plug for Shopify.
We're doing it, man.
We'll get you a few.
Yeah. But always stay tuned. We're always going to be real with you and breaking the norm and talking real talk, man. So, hey, everyone stay blessed.
Stay driven.
And always break the norm.